There is a reason why I'm sitting in here as opposed to going out there. The intro that I did for this video originally got corrupted, as usual with technology. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to limit the talking as much as possible. I've had that car sitting on that driveway for about 4 months now, and it is in desperate need of washing back to square one. We've done isolated bits underneath, you know, around the engine and underneath the rear suspension, de-rusting it, but we haven't really washed it. I've not snow foamed it. So that is what this episode is going to be. I'm going to try and give you as many different angles as possible, but the truth is, this is not my speciality. Other car YouTubers are much better at getting camera angles and showing you what you want to see when you see someone cleaning. And the truth is, I absolutely love cleaning cars. Who the hell doesn't? If you're into cars, you must love the difference between what they look like at the start and what they're going to look like at the end, and seeing that transformation. And sometimes I can get lost in that, and the camera work gets put on the sideshow, but I hope to show you some decent shots. Now, there's a few obviously things that I've had to do recently. There's been quite a few issues. I mean, the problems have been mounting up. I would say 20 or 30 different issues. I'm sure that I'll do a separate episode naming all this once we've got that MOT nailed straight on. And I will show you the amount of work I've done to the car and how much it has cost, because I think that's something that I would like to show the reality of owning a car like this. Yes, it didn't cost me much, but it has cost me a lot in parts. It's probably cost me just as much, way more in parts than actual the car. So yeah, I'm going to show the reality of that. But anyway, I'm going to cut to this video and we're going to see the transformation of this car, touch wood, and we will see how many chips are in this car. If we work our way forwards, I mean, obviously there's a bit of algae around here still. Can you believe it? This is my new paint. I must have made a mistake with the lacquer. I'm going to have to take this handle back off the car to redo that. I can't believe after 2 weeks that has ended up fading that way. I don't know what's happened to the paint there, but I'm just going to have to do it again. Oh, it's frustrating, that is. Anyway, we've got a load of algae stuck in this trim here. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm going to have to respray that, and no doubt that will wear away just as quickly as well. Got a load of rubbish under here, but on the roof, I don't think you can see. I mean, there's some things on it, but it isn't too bad at all. It just needs an overall wash, because most of the paintwork is like sandpaper. Yeah, I did that as well. Got some algae around here. I've got to adjust the washer jets. That's another job for another day. But if we come around the front, I mean, it's all hanging around here. It's not nice. And here, it's not too bad, but it will look much better once it's washed. I mean, I can clearly see, but you can't. I mean, there's some algae hanging around there and around the mirror, same place. But overall, a lot of it has actually been cleaned already. It's just that it hasn't had a general wash. I mean, that's pretty bad as well up here. So yeah, so I'm going to get the car moved and we're going to have a snow foam. The problem is you end up doing your neighbour's cars as well, but he won't mind, he's a doctor. There is simply nothing like a snow foam. Oof. Ah, she's crying. Tears of happiness. I'll tell you something, this is beautiful. It's like a winter wonderland here just for a few seconds. All the nice snow. If you don't like snow foam, there's something wrong with you. It brings a child out in all of us. Still wiping tears. But I've done all underneath the car, and that will soften the worst off, and all this will come off quite nicely now. This is a pre-wash, so what I'm going to do next is the shampoo. This was just to get the worst off underneath, and to be fair, what's running out is quite clean, so I'm pretty pleased about that. Next stage. Oh God, come on, clicky. The only thing with these cartridges, they take a lot of working to get the nozzles in. This is a K2 by the way, and I've used Auto Glim Snow Foam, the pre-wash. I think it's called Polar Blast. I'm now going to jet wash it off now. This stuff is properly embedded, but I don't want to go really mad with the pressure washer because that's the result. So we're just going to do it gently. Same for this, it really won't come off, but it will if I put my finger to it. There you go, look. Oh yes, that's all it takes. I literally just put my finger to it, and that's what the snow foam does. If it doesn't get it off, your finger will. It just softens it down. Bye bye. Now that piece of trim already looks slightly different to the rest of it. That looked the same colour before, and it is quite worn, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be a different shade, that piece. Yeah, we're getting there, we're getting some colour back in this car now. Again, the same for this. It's just coming off with my finger. Bye bye, scum. Oh, that looks far better already. We are going to do a stage process, so this won't be the final product. Still a bit on the roof. Christ, this is really bad. I mean, I should use a sponge really instead of my fingers. But this is so satisfying to do it by hand. Who needs sponges when you got your fingernails? Well, fingers. Don't want to scratch the paint. Let's get this thing. Go green, go away. And it's almost gone. Now, preferably now, I'm going to use the 2 bucket method. So I have 2 buckets over there. Those Maguire's big wash buckets. You can get other brands, but they're really good wash buckets. So the blue one is my clean one, and my yellow one is the dirty one. And I'm going to use a microfiber mitt, not a sponge. We don't use them anymore. Autoglim Pure Shampoo is what I use. I am not sponsored by them in any respect. They're just one of the best ones that you can grab at Halfords or wherever. Really good value, and quite frankly, other products, they're more expensive, but they're not necessarily any more better in my opinion. So we'll get cracking. Right, I have my wash mitt, which look how clean it is. Now the reason it's so clean is because I use snow foam. Now this is going to get dirty because this car is a little bit more challenging. It's got some areas of algae which refuse to budge, but we'll get onto that, like this stuff along the trim. Anyway, hot water, not cold, hot. Start with the roof. So you've got this stuff here. There we go, it's just gone, it's softened. We've got bits here. There we go. That snow foam has just softened it up completely. Just a nice smooth action, and that I can feel already that the paintwork is far smoother. That's not sandpaper no more. That's like, well, let's just say in terms of sandpaper, it was about 100 grit, 80 grit. Now it feels like 1500, but by the time we're finished it'll be 3000, believe you me. I'm now going to just switch on the silent mode while you watch me clean. Well, I have to show you this because I was expecting some paint defects, but I wasn't expecting anything like this. Micro blistering all over the bonnet. I've never seen anything like it. Surely to God, that was not caused by the factory, because no other panel is like that. That is incredible. I mean, I would think a car cover could cause this, but my car cover has not been on the car that long to cause this type of damage. Grief. That is going to give me food for thought about this panel. So the rest of the car, it's not brilliant on the paintwork, but it cleans up really well. I am actually quite impressed, to be honest, in all fairness. I'm a bit annoyed about what's gone on there, but it's all cleaned up very, very well. I am going to go over it again, but she's looking a lot better. She's looking like an 18-year-old car. But, ooh, I'm going to have to think about what to do with that panel. Right, I am going to dry her off now. Rinse off and then a dry off. 10 times better than what it was. Now this is an area of difficulty on these cars. Unfortunately, due to the absolute cost cutting, Rover never lacquered the paint underneath the bonnet, and this is not going to be a shiny job, but I'm going to try and get as much dirt off as possible. Use my rubbish sponge. Just try not to soak the engine completely, but just, you know, I would say that's a hell of a lot better. It's never going to look great, but that is a lot better than what it was before. It's just a shame about the micro blistering. I mean, that's just, I've never seen anything like this, but clearly there must have been a paint defect in the factory. I also saw this over here, not far from the fuel filler cap. All this ready to go. So there are definite paint defects from the factory. Never mind. Here I am giving the car final hose off, and it starts raining. How brilliant is that? It beat me to it. Well, disappointing for the bonnet. There's no way I could have seen that. But the truth is, we'll see how it looks. We're going to have to be very gentle with that part of the car. We cannot wet sand it, so I'm going to have to figure out what I do with that, because at the end of the day, it's a car I paid very little money for, and quite frankly, it doesn't owe me a great deal. As long as it works and it runs and it will pass the MOT and it's nice and tidy underneath and I keep it that way and it's nice and clean inside, I can only make it as good as what I can. Respraying this car is not an option. It is not in my budget. That car over there is more precious to me personally. This may become another Mark 1 Focus to me. It might just install itself in my heart, but it took me 9 years to respray the Focus, and one half of it. This is going to have to do a few years keep. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to hose off now, guys. I will see you very soon. The next time will be clay barring. That's the next step. See you soon, guys. Goodbye.